YouTube. Just wonderful to see you again today, and I just had to say something before I let some of this video play. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun with Anna Kasparian, and I did the should have stayed in school to rolla. And if you can believe it, Ms Pinny is going to condescend to talk to us about fake news. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let it roll for a second. Now, I'm going to pop in here from time to time and throw in my sixpence. But for right now, let's see what these morons have to say, shall we?
One of the top news stories today has to do with BuzzFeed's decision to publish a leaked document, 35-page document, detailing Trump's possible ties to Russia and the potential of Russia having some pretty dirty information on Donald Trump that they could use against him in the future. Now, it is important to understand, and BuzzFeed did report this, none of the allegations in these leaked documents or the leaked document have been verified.
And right away, Kasparione here, no evidence. To quote the hard bastard, give me evidence or shut up. Don't give me this load of crap. This stuff does get my blood up. I'm going to do my best to keep an even keel. But just, it's unverified. And let's hear where she goes with this unverified information and what a deal she makes of it. And please, if you just substitute any politician for Trump, this would never fly.
No one has corroborated them. They even said themselves that it's potentially unverifiable. But nonetheless, they published this information. And as a result, a lot of people are questioning whether or not there was an issue with journalistic ethics, okay? So the news website posted the unredacted documents on Tuesday, just 10 days before Trump's inauguration, with a warning that the contents contained errors, a lot of misspellings, and were unverified and potentially unverifiable. Also, the documents reportedly compiled by a British former intelligence agent.
You bitch. A British agent, a British agent. I doubt it. I mean, it's you can't. She said it can't be corroborated. She's a liar. And just for the Britisher here, a British agent. Why did you have to say that? Why can't it be Mossad? I'm Jewish. It's probably Mossad. You stupid sons of.
Alleged that the Kremlin was cultivating, supporting, and assisting Trump for at least 5 years. Okay. So how did this all come about? It didn't start with BuzzFeed. Now, there were a number of news organizations that received the same document but decided not to report on it, not to leak it, not to do any of that. The Guardian is an example of that.
Listen, with all due respect to The Guardian, when they won't report on it, we're talking about BuzzFeed. This is ridiculous. This is some Lauren Duca nonsense. I'm like for Teen Vogue. Listen, if you want some real news, go find it. But if you expect to find it at the Young Turks or at BuzzFeed, you're crazy. What you'll find is some feel-good, mushy, mealy-mouthed nonsense aimed at homosexuals, aimed at transgenders, aimed at any kind of minority to give them a feel-good feeling and to make them feel oppressed and, let's all have a great big hug because we're so spad.
They decided, we can't verify any of these claims, any of these allegations, so therefore we're not even going to mess with it. New York Times also did not publish anything about it. It all started with CNN, though.
Oh, I'm shocked. It started with CNN. I mean, listen, once again, when the New York Times refuses to report something that I believe is made up out of whole cloth, I wouldn't believe this if it was Barack Hussein Obama. I wouldn't believe if it was Hillary Rodham Clinton. I'm not positive that Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin were doing as, what is that Nero says? Nero's like, that's the worst kind of sex because there's no penis involved. I'm not buying it. There's no evidence. It didn't happen, period.
CNN reported that America's intelligence chiefs had given Trump and Barack Obama a 2-page summary of the reports last week. CNN and The Guardian also reported that Senator John McCain had delivered a copy to the FBI Director James Comey last month, but withheld the document's most eye-opening details, okay? So I want to be absolutely clear. These media organizations did not publish any details. It was very vague. It was just basically talking about how there is a document that exists and top officials are being briefed on it.
There's a reason they say that. Because there is no corroborating evidence. There is nothing. This is a made-up story. Why are you bothering to cover it? You silly, silly fool.
At that point, BuzzFeed gets involved because BuzzFeed has the same document. BuzzFeed News then starts publishing the full document so that Americans can make up their own minds about allegations about the president-elect and have circulated at the highest levels of the U.S. government. Okay, so why is this such a big deal? There have been, a lot of news stories about how Russia has been involved in the election, how Russia has been working to influence the election. Well, there were some damning accusations here. Again, none of them verified. And so Donald Trump is pissed, okay? That was, hold on, I did not mean to use that. That was not,
Sure.
Hold on.
Yellow journalism here.
Okay.
Iderola, I challenge you to a wrestling match, to a debate, to anything. You are a blithering idiot. You better hope the Young Turks never can, your stupid moron hind end. That's what you deserve, because you are absolutely a fool. I won't let you speak again on my video. If my viewers want to see, they can go watch the original. But when you get ready to speak, I'm going to hit the shut the F up button, because you, sir, are a blithering idiot who has no credentials, who has no bona fides, who has nothing but a driveling, moronic opinion that he sucks straight from the butt pipe of Sank, Shink, Shank, Yeager.
According to this leaked document, Trump allegedly hired sex workers to defile a bed in a presidential suite at Moscow's Ritz-Carlton Hotel where the Obamas, whom he hated, had slept. To desecrate the space, the documents claim Trump made the sex workers that he hired perform a golden showers, I love how they clarified, urination show, on the mattress in front of him. Okay.
Yeah, right. And Julian Assange raped 2 chicks in, I believe, frickin' Sweden. Give me a break. For one thing, I don't think Julian Assange has ever had to rape anybody in his life. For another thing, you know how easy it is to get with all due respect, a lady of the night to say what you want her to say? I mean, if you want to get her to, I'm not going to get really descriptive, but if you want to get her to go around the world or anything you want, all you got to do is pay her. I mean, let's be real here. Who are we talking about? Are we still talking about the British agent? Or are we talking about some hookers that made something up because that's the narrative they want to push now? This is a load of horse manure.
Again, there's no verification of this, so don't publish this kind of stuff, right? Because whether it's verified or not, certain people are just going to run with it. And so the damage is already done. Telling Americans, hey, here's a leaked document, you decide for yourself, is not doing your job, and it is unethical. I don't like Donald Trump, but I do believe in journalistic ethics.
She believes in journalistic efforts.
Well, I certainly think it's important that they clarified that it was unverified and unverifiable, and that's a break with the recent tradition of just banging out stories, no matter what rumors they're based on, unsubstantiated stuff.
We are going to keep it just a little British today, so instead of me saying what I think about this person, Mr. Starkey, my beloved British friend, is there anything that you may have to say about this person, Ms Pinny?
One of the great things that is essential to Britishness is a sense of public duty, that you do things for nothing with organisations that can't pay. Ms Penny, who has been advertising these great left-wing virtues, and I were due to debate for a very impoverished little society called the Thomas Paine Society on the virtues of a republic on the one hand and a monarchy on the other. I was prepared to do it for free, She insisted on trying to charge such a large fee that the event had to be cancelled. Now, I think that is as mean and grasping as some runt comedian, and I will not be lectured to by a jumped-up public school girl like you. I came from the bottom, and I will not have it.
I don't believe we'll let Miss Penny say anything else today. There will be a link in the description, so I'm not just cutting these people off and, don't give me any freedom of speech. This is freedom of me sitting down at a computer, cutting this stuff up and making my own work out of it. Exposing what morons these people are. I'd like to have some different words, but I can't think of anything else. Look up the definition of moron. That's what these people are. These people, at best, probably score somewhere around 85 IQ, just functioning. That's it. I'd like to say something good about any one of these three people, Mr. Iderola, Miss Kasparian, Mrs. Penny, but there's nothing good to say about them. They are a pack of liars. I don't even know how to end this. I'm going to continue to peruse and watch this last part about 4 or 5 more times. But I'm going to tell you, once you see this stuff 4 or 5 times to, know what you're going to say and when you're going to say it, it starts to just make you just think to yourself, are these people real? Who's paying them and how much? And who's telling them what to say? They couldn't have just came up with this stuff on their own.
It just made me think of this from a perspective that I hadn't previously thought of. So you, by acting irresponsibly, which I do believe that BuzzFeed did in this case, you give him more, fodder. You give him more avenues in which he can attack legitimate news sources.
That, my friends, is the height of unethical journalism. She found a way to spin this story. Ms Penny at one point says that he talks about this BuzzFeed is going to get what's coming, or so. I can't remember quite how Trump put it, and I've watched both these things, but listen to the press conference. It's toward the end where he's harassed by the reporter. Why is this reporter bringing something up that is yellow journalism? It's beyond that. It's so horrible. It's like the old, we don't do that anymore. So why are you trying to make a caricature out of the president-elect? If the president-elect was Hillary Rodham Clinton, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't be the happiest man on earth. Would I be mocking her? Or maybe. But would I be twisting stories around to make her the bad one no matter what she does? No. It's beyond hypocrisy. What it is so dishonest. It's a terrible tactic. It's a terrible Young Turk tactic.
Right? And so I worry about that.
So do I, Anna. I worry about it all the time. I worry about the propaganda you're spreading and the age group you're striking at. You're trying to indoctrinate people. Aren't you Armenian? How can you work for a place? This is something I just can't wrap my mind around. Please, I'll ask it almost every time I cover these people. I'm going to ask you to look up the Armenian genocide and see where the Young Turks were and how many they slaughtered. I maybe could be educated from somebody around there. Maybe it is different. Maybe I've been lied to. I don't think so. It was the Holocaust real? People would tell you that it's not. I believe, I know it was real. And it would be like me calling my channel the Hitler Youth.
Although, to be fair, he's going to do that regardless.
He is going to do that regardless, but...
No, there ain't no way I'm calling my channel the Hitler Youth. All right, yeah, okay, now I'm just kind of chopping them up and having fun with their words. I might do it once or twice later, but heck, this is coming to an end pretty quick because I'm getting a little ill listening to this crap.
At least in this case, there's actually evidence that he can use to his benefit. Whereas before, he would just make statements and there would never be any evidence to it. In this case, they did something wrong, and they shouldn't have done it. I don't know why they made that decision.
I don't know why you made the decision to start that by saying that Trump used to just make the stuff up. What? Please. Citation, please. Why couldn't you just said, this was wrong, period. Why would you start with an attack? If someone did that to another politician that you liked, would you come back with a video saying that that was wrong? I think you would. I know I just did.
Look, we get on CNN all the time when they're like, we report, you decide. Both sides are equal, whatever, you guys figure it out for yourself. No, that's not what a journalist does.
That's not what CNN does either. But if you expect me to say that's what Fox News does, it's not. If you want to see something that leans right, go watch Fox News. You know, I could suggest a couple of them, but I've already mentioned a couple. Well, Tucker Carlson. Go watch Tucker, man. He got the slot at 9, I believe. Yes, he got the slot at 9. I know he did. All right? If you want to watch somebody that leans left, go watch CNN. You want to watch somebody that leans really left, go watch Mr. Maddow on MSNBC. You'll get your lefty stuff shoveled right to you, right through the screen.
A journalist tries to do fact checking and figure out which side is lying, maybe both sides are lying, whatever it is. You're supposed to be the truth seeker.
There's no such thing as being a truth seeker in journalism. In the old days, they taught who, what, where, when, how. You know, and then they started saying why. And, okay, you know, why, but that shouldn't really enter into journalism. It should be facts. Journalism should as closely resemble a scientific method as possible. If you don't understand the scientific method of study, to say, I believe this, and here's why, and citation. The reason I'm saying these things right now, I can quote some books right now. I'm telling you this right now because of a book called 1984 by George Orwell, because of another one called Animal Farm by George Orwell, by one called Big Brother, The Orwellian Nightmare Come True by Mark Dice. You know, if you wanted me to sit here and just say books, I will. I'll put some in the description. But there's my citation for seeing propaganda. Edward Bernays, he was great. He lived to be 106 years old. He was Jewish. He was there when Edison, you know, was there in New York. And anyway, I'm not going to ramble too long. I'm going to say, if you want real news, go find it. Go watch TheBritisher. Go watch The Hard Bastard. Once you've spent your time on some hard-hitting news at those two places, well, then branch off and go get a laugh at Bering, you know, and go get some more serious stuff with Sargon the Cod in his own gentle way. There's some Americans, they're everywhere. We are everywhere. We're not anonymous to the point that I'm just going to say we're Legion, but we're becoming Legion. More of us want to see you like I want to see you. I don't want my rice bowl broken. I just want to say, don't believe this garbage. If someone, don't believe me. You know, all I'm doing is critiquing what they're saying right now. I gave you some reasons why. If anyone wants any citations on anything that I ever say, put it in the comments. I will tell you specifically why I believe what I believe. I'll tell you specifically why I say what I say. I'll tell you why I want you to look in the Armenian genocide. I'll tell you why I thought, you know, and still think maybe possibly Slobodan Milosevic wasn't the nicest guy on earth. I'd tell you all those things. So until the next time, remember, be good to the ones you love. Be good to your family. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, no matter how big that thing may seem to be at the time. Because wouldn't it be worse if they were gone? And remember, at an hour you think not, your loved one will depart from you.